Hey, nothing's better than being rich. I'm incredibly wealthy. My name's Andy Lee Graham, and I've lived in 114 countries, and I've been doing this anywhere and everywhere for 26 years. I don't have a home in the USA, which is one of the reasons why I'm incredibly wealthy, rich. I'm rich in so many things, but I should say I'm rich enough, okay, which is the funny part because I live out of a backpack. I have a big backpack and a little backpack. I'm in Colombia right now, and normally I have two backpacks, but I was going to walk the Darien Gap, but I decided not to because it was too organized. Was nothing fun about it. It was just a lot of money to go nowhere. Okay, but I'm rich in time. I'm rich enough in time. I'm rich enough in money. I'm rich enough in friends. I'm writing a book about the philosophy of one of the chapters is going to be philosophy of enough, because the term to me enough is when you've had enough, you won enough, you did enough, or it's sufficient. Okay, and what I've realized, I was getting I got my mustache trimmed today by a girl in Colombia. I shouldn't say her name, but very nice girl. I put it on a little video of me and her cutting my beard, or well, after I was done, and on my travel tips channel. I have another channel is only for travel tip shorts, my little less than 1 minute videos. But as I was getting the video, I thought, what a lucky man I am. I said, I can get my mustache trimmed by a woman, beautiful, for less than $2. When she charged me, she only charged me $1. I said on the video, on the video I said $2, but it was really only $1 she wanted. But I gave her a tip. I gave her $2.50. Okay, and that was overpaying her. Could you imagine that? To actually feel like giving somebody that just spent 15 minutes or something shaving your beard, cleaning it up, prepping, making you look guapo. That's the word for handsome in the slang word for handsome in Spanish. But guapa is for a woman, and a beautiful girl is guapísima. But I'm enough handsome. I'm enough money. I've got way too much time. Okay, I'm one of the wealthiest people on the planet. For the last 25 years, I've done about anything and everything I've ever wanted to do. I have so much time that I normally probably watch at least 2 to 3 hours of, I'm mostly doing TV series right now. I just watched a Lessons in Chemistry, the first season. What a great show. Really inspiring in a lot of ways. But I watched Little Sheldon, Big Bang Theory, Elementary. I watch a lot of films, but I watch the inspiring ones. I try to get something that intrigues me. But I'm rich in money. Okay, I often feel sorry. I just started watching this video with Tony Robbins and this guy, I can't say his name, Diamantes or something like that. And he says why 95% fail and 5% succeed. And that's what I've been talking about for a few weeks now. I've been saying that the 1 in 20 is who I want to talk to. I want to talk to the winners in life. And the winners in life are the ones that are my age, 65 plus years old, and still got a story, still got a future story. Enough, though, enough. What is happening is that when people get enough, normally they stop trying. The minute they stop trying, they stop living. To live, you have to be having, like, chasing something, right? You have to be striving. You can't thrive unless you strive for something. You see, you can't thrive unless you strive to live. Hey, I just made that up. You can't, that's a good one. You can't thrive unless you can strive to live. You got to live a life worth living, okay? But everybody has this sort of platitude way of talking, which is not the same as Henry David Thoreau wrote a quote the other day. He says, it's one thing to study the philosopher, but the goal is that you go into action after you read the book or whatever. You read something philosophical, but without action, it's just what I call a platitude. The phone's ringing, sorry about that. A platitude is something you say that sounds good, but it doesn't really mean anything. I often think Ralph Waldo Emerson, his mentor, was really full of platitudes with no bang for the buck, right? He didn't really, what did he do? But Henry David Thoreau, I keep trying to understand why he was so famous. I think it's because he was completely content being himself, an individual living in his little bubble, living in this little world. And that's what I do too. I live in my own little world, and I define the world, and I constructed the bubble, the little sphere that I live in. I made it the way I wanted to make it. I constructed my life. So I've been traveling the world for 25 years. Well, 26 years. Got it up. Every time I change years, it's hard to change these verbiages. But everybody, contrary to what you think, can live within your means, and you can be wealthy in a lot of ways. Even inside the United States, I'm always amazed at the inability to see that there are different price levels of cost of livings in different places. People will go broke living in New York so that they can stay in New York, okay? They will literally go on food stamps so they can stay in New York, okay? And when you're sitting there going, of all the countries in the world to be born in, we are a lucky sperm to be born inside the United States, because you can literally walk probably 100 miles in any direction and go to an area where the cost of living is so cheap that when you start earning your $20 an hour, you can thrive, okay? But to live within your means is to live enough, right? To have enough to live within your means. And what is the problem with people? They don't thrive because they don't strive to live within their means, okay? But when you have enough, can you be happy? Will you ever be happy? I think Warren Buffett says to keep your own scorecard, and everybody says the same thing, but it's a kind of a cliche thing, but you got to keep your own scorecard. And the minute that you start comparing yourself to other people, you're just SOL, shit out of luck. There's always going to be somebody that's less than you, and there's always going to be somebody that's more than you. But there's only going to be one of you. So you got one life and one person to be wealthy, okay? Wealthy is a state of mind, and it's really easy to achieve. I have been wealthy. The times when I've been the wealthiest is when I had the least amount of money, because I had the most overabundance of free time to think and understand my world. And when you're thinking enough, there's enough thinking in your life. When you had enough thinking when you're wealthy enough to think, you can think about how to be happy. A lot of people are too busy to think about even how to be happy. They kind of miss the idea. My sister April one time said something, we don't work to go be happy. We don't work so that the goal of work isn't to go to work. The work is to go to work so that we can have money to have a happy life. On the other side is I'm really concerned because as I get older, almost 95% of my friends that retire are very unhappy, okay? And they are on the wham, they're crashing and burning. And you're sitting there going, you need something to define your life. You got to have something enough to make you who you are, something that gives you enough purpose. Okay, I'm a rich man. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm wealthy in time. The biggest commodity. I'm also wealthy in health. I don't like to talk to friends my age because they start talking about their medicines. One of the fun things I do just for kicks, not to be mean or anything, but when somebody comes abroad and they meet me in some other country, I say, hold up your plastic bag. And they almost always have a gallon plastic bag full of medicine. And I go, oh boy. I sit there and I go, what happened to you? I have no medicines I take regularly, and I'm 65 plus years. And I'm in great health. And I'm writing this book on philosophy of, and I'll come up with a better name, but the point is this, is that I have the time to do anything I want, and I can write a chapter a day, 2 days. I can do anything I want. I can go get my mustache thing. I was talking to her about whether she thought I should get a Viking mustache, and I think it's ones that hang out. She said, no, you look handsome and younger with this type of mustache, but she really did a good job. And I went to the swimming pool yesterday, and I got some sun. So I was asking her what she thought about did I get a little burn? But I have the time to inquire. I have the time to be curious. I have the time to let my mind wander, to serendipitously live my life. I have a good life, and I want to share that life with people, but I can't very easily because some reason there's some sort of addictive process that the American dream has got people into, or something about the American culture has hook, line, and sinker convinced people that the only thing that will define you is some sort of money success. And I'll guarantee you, I've had a lot of money different times in my life, and it does not make you happy. Normally, it's people that make you happy. And people take time, okay? Family takes time. Children take time. Money is the antithesis of a happy family, okay? Too much money, it means too much work. Christopher Columbus said, hey, money only causes you to work more, or something like that. He said he was laughing because after he went to the New World and he discovered, the North and South America, he didn't really get any money from the Queen after this. He didn't become a wealthy man, but he really had wealthy in experience. And I want people to be wealthy in 4 different things. I want them to be a philosopher. I want them to be wealthy, have enough truth, have enough experiences, have enough time to read and watch films and learn and become a more wise person. I want them to have enough time to talk to strangers, 25% of their time talking to strangers. And I want you to have 25% of your time to talk to your philosopher friends. And you should only be talking to philosopher friends. Philosopher friends are people that are committed and have a desire only to talk the authentic truth. Okay, I am so happy right now because I ended all my businesses, and I'm really just making this YouTube channel and my Patreon. But how to share this is a $1 million problem. I have a Patreon thing, which kind of the hard part is the 95%, the 19 out of 20 try to get to you constantly, and those are the people I want to meet them, but I want to have them in a way that they don't try to destroy my life. Okay, the secret to happiness is to spend more time doing the things that you like than the things that make you sad. And so if you do things that think, so the greatest way to be happy is to have great friends. The greatest way to be unhappy is to have bad friends. Bad friends will bring you down. They're emotional vampires. Okay, I just thought I would talk about enough. I'm going to write the chapter soon on enough, and I'm trying to figure out how to write these chapters because there's a kind of a synthesis, a way of processing my thinking if I make a video about something and if I talk about it and if I have people to talk about it, and I had some people to discuss it, it'd be nice to have like a room full of 10 people that were interested in these kind of subjects and then have a conversation. I am going to try to go live on Zoom once a week for my Patreon supporters. The $5, the minimum is $5 a month, and that allows you the ability to go on Zoom with me and talk with me. And it's a video on only. Everybody's got to be straightforward. They got to be a real person. They got to be somebody that I respect. Okay, and I'm very judicious in this because the quality of my life, my ability to thrive, is dependent on what I surround myself with. Okay, the people I surround. The things are real easy to deal with. The things that cost money are real easy to achieve. The quality of life of surrounding yourself with people that make you feel stronger is what makes us have a great life. I have a great life, and I want to share that with you. Become a Patreon so we can become friends and talk sometimes and share. Life is good. Hit the subscribe button. I always forget to say that. I love holding up my coffee. I drink out of a instant coffee thing. I actually like instant coffee better than I do the brewed coffee. The brewed coffee always has this bite to it. I can make instant coffee without a bite. And people think I'm crazy, but maybe I'm eccentric, but I'm here and you're not. Why not?